I had AI as a guest on a podcast.
No way.
AI should have won rights, because if there's $1 missing, it's a big problem.
It's a very simple business. We have to make money, make a lot of money. Sometimes they can have an ego. You have to be able to survive. You nailed it. Yeah, that's what it is. You just can't stop. Drop shipping or AI arbitrage or whatever it is right now. And they think it's easy. They think they're going to make millions. I need to make millions before I'm old like you.
Hello and welcome to 3D Media Life Podcast. This is Dimitriy and I have a very special guest, Kristine Smith. She's CMO of Surterre Properties. She is also an entrepreneur. She has a company called Brevy. Welcome to the show. Been excited to get you out here and waiting for a while. So thank you for making the time.
Yes, we've known each other since 2018, 2019.
Yeah.
So been able to work together over the years.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Surterre is a very special company. I admired it for quite a while, so I was excited to start working with you guys in 2019, right before the pandemic.
Right.
And with virtual tours, it was just like the perfect timing.
Perfect timing.
Right before the pandemic
Exactly. Yes, we were able to get up and running and teach a lot of the virtual stuff to agents who were new to the whole idea of it.
Yeah, and in fact, as I remember, I started the company 2016, really got it going 2017. There was a lot of resistance.
Oh, yeah.
They did not want to adapt. A lot of the agents are older. They don't want to do any new technology.
Right.
Oh, I'm used to it, that my photos work, and that's it.
Right.
But virtual tours was, I saw it for a long time. That's going to be the future. And after the pandemic, it became a necessity. It wasn't a luxury anymore to have it.
Absolutely.
And
yeah.
It was great that you saw that as well, right before that started. So.
Yes. Well, I have always been a future forward thinker. I love seeing what's new, what's coming out, how I can make my life easier. In the reality, I'm just lazy and I want the path of least resistance to get the most amount of work done. So I love the virtual tours. I love Zoom. I was doing Zoom years before Zoom was a thing. And so we were able to really onboard our agents quickly and get them up to speed just because we had already been using the technology. And that FaceTime, we had agents walking properties with their phones and, we were able to get business done. So.
Yeah, I remember during the pandemic, you guys didn't even skip a beat. It was like a very efficient operation. It was very impressive.
Yeah, and we worked hard to do that. It was a lot of training on our part, but it ended up being okay. So,
how many agents do you guys have?
Right now, we're at about 280.
And these are like top of the top in Southern California.
Yes. So we have 3 offices: Newport Beach, Laguna Beach, and Dana Point. And we do actually also have an office in Palm Desert.
That's new.
So we are expanding.
Nice.
Yeah. So we've got some other territories in mind that we want to target, but.
We work in Palm Desert too, just say.
Okay, there you go. Good to know.
Yeah. Surterre is, again, for people that don't know, it's a boutique agency, right? For luxury real estate, mostly coastal in Southern California, which is the most prime real estate in the world.
Right.
Always has been, and getting even more exclusive and hard to obtain.
Right. More exclusive because location. That is the key of all real estate. If you've ever looked for a house, location is the most important thing I can possibly stress. Including for myself. I look at real estate all the time and think, oh, where's my next location? And I really study the location, the side of the street, where it's located, the streets, the crosswalks, everything I can possibly put into studying the location. And again, coastal Orange County, coastal beachfront properties, they're not being made anymore. So that's the key to, coastal residential real estate. It's location and where you can find a available house. They just don't make them anymore. You can't just, oh, I want a house. You can't make it. Somebody's got to sell. So that's the key.
They make them bigger, but not like, they don't build up, right? In Newport, Corona Del Mar, Laguna Beach. I don't see too many high rises.
Yeah, there's a lot of restrictions with coastal commission. But what I'm saying is like, you can build inland. You can go and you can build another community inland with land. There is no more beachfront properties. You have to have somebody who's willing to sell, and that is the commodity. It's like when something comes on the market, that does not come on the market very often. Like you gotta get it while you can. And then if you own a piece of the coast, that's a luxury in itself. So people are out there looking for that prize, and that's why Newport Beach and just the coast in general is a coveted thing and expensive.
And it's never going to be like Miami where they just build high rises right on the water. It's never going to get densely populated. It's always going to be the same amount of residents, more or less.
I mean, that would be my guess. I don't know for sure, but I would imagine people will keep it the way it is as long as they possibly can.
Yeah. So some of those homes are pretty insane.
Very insane. Yeah. I mean, it's the cream of the crop. I mean, I have seen things that just blow my mind. So
I remember we did a tour at one of the Surterre Properties. The agent was
Elisa
Stoll. Yeah,
Mhm.
2017 or 18, can't remember. It was another company trying to do augmented reality within the home to
Right.
sell furniture and other items. Great idea.
Great idea.
Ahead of its time.
Ahead of its time. I mean, it really was brilliant. So you would walk into a home and virtually, you'd walk into a home like a Matterport tour, and then a little bubble kind of popped up, and you could see, oh, what's that dish? Oh, that's a Bosch dishwasher, or a Wolf range, whatever it was. So, and then you could click on it, and it would take you to the link to purchase what it was, or the furniture, or like you said, the painting. So that's the stuff that it's coming. It's here. It might have been ahead of its time then, but I think it's right around the corner.
Oh, for sure. And now with the advancement of AI,
Right.
just more possibilities are
Yeah.
available.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, are you guys using AI in Surterre?
Every minute of the day. Yes. I love AI. I cannot, people are scared of it, and our agents are scared of it sometimes,
Oh, for sure.
because it is scary. I believe that if you know how to use AI, you're going to win.
100%.
I try to we work really hard. We have AI classes. We are teaching it as fast as we can. We use an avatar. I use an avatar for myself just to introduce what agents can do. We have a lot of agents that want to be in front of the camera. They want to do everything they can social media wise, but they get nervous, or they're scared, or they mess up, and it takes them a day to, say something. So the idea of using their own avatar as themselves, not a cartoon, but an actual image of themselves, and then they can type in their own script and say whatever they want about a house or a property or their favorite restaurant or whatever it is they're doing.
And it's pretty realistic, right? People can tell.
Very realistic.
Yeah.
I'll show you mine. I mean, I use it all the time. So,
Wow.
and it's nice because my team can help me so that I can be in multiple places doing multiple things at once. You have to have a good team that you trust. That's not going to make you say stuff that's inappropriate.
And you're great on camera. People that are not, like you were saying, that's like a lifesaver for them.
Right.
For you, just being able to be in multiple places at the same time,
Yes.
kind of
Well, and it's
getting
nice
more things done.
because, my team has great ideas, and they might be working on something and I'm working on something else, and they can use my avatar and bring it to life quickly. And, obviously
Do they have to run it by you before they use it?
I mean, sometimes they're pretty good now. We've worked together for a long time. I trust them implicitly. So I don't think that they would ever make me say something silly, but
It's kind of scary though.
it is scary.
What if somebody hacks the account? Now they
Right.
have control of you talking and saying anything. That's what I've
Somebody
been always
could.
scared of.
Such as, oh, Chris, this is Kristine. Can you go buy me a gift card?
Yeah.
We've had that happen, but
Pay for
not.
taxes with a
Yes.
gift card.
Yeah. Not. I mean, it could happen. Yes, and I think that's what the general population is afraid of, is that kind of stuff happening with the avatar, just AI in general.
Mhm.
I do believe if you can use it for good and you can use it to get work done faster, those people
big
will
time.
win. I mean, what I accomplish now in a day is probably what 5 people accomplish in a week. I mean,
For
that's
sure.
how much I use it. I draft everything with it. It is a thought starter. I will iterate. And if you know the right prompts to ask, you can get anything done. I mean, I have done more things than you can imagine
Yeah.
every day.
It's funny that you say that the prompting is really the new coding.
Oh, yeah.
If you know how to ask, you literally get anything.
Right. And I mean, these debates get heated and we could talk about it for hours. But if because what I hear, and a lot of it is school, I have college kids and high school student, you hear, oh, well, generations aren't going to learn to think, that AI is going to do everything and we won't have thinkers. But if you are a thinker, a natural thinker, you're curious, AI is the greatest thing that ever happened. I mean, I use it and I learn so much so fast compared to how it used to happen. I mean, it's night and day. So it's going to make smart people smarter and faster. So the people that really capitalize on this they're unstoppable
Yeah.
in every single industry.
And when I hire new people, for me, it's now the priority is no longer skill or knowledge.
Right.
It's their efficiency.
Yes.
How diligent are they to show up? How diligent are they actually to use up the time that they have?
Mm-hmm.
Because you can take an untrained person, make him an expert in every field, essentially,
Right.
as long as they're honest and hardworking.
Right.
You can literally turn an average person into a scientist now, which is crazy.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Those qualities, I mean, not everybody has those qualities. You know, I tell my kids all the time, show up on time. It's one of their best traits. If you can show up on time now, it's like you're ahead of 90% of the population.
Yeah.
So,
The motivation you cannot fake. AI cannot motivate you,
right.
but it can make you an expert in every field.
Or make you curious.
That's
So
true,
if you
yeah.
are a naturally curious person, you want to know, you want to learn, you have that in you. I mean, AI is the greatest tool. I can't speak highly enough about it. And I know I offend a lot of people, including some of my family members. They get really upset over it. But you know, I just feel like it's here and you might as well capitalize on it. And I think schools should be teaching how to use it to our advantage and to, you know, really thrive and accelerate right now. Like it's now.
Yeah. You know, I was thinking about schools. Thank God I have 4 kids with another one on the way.
Oh my gosh, congratulations.
Thank you. So I keep thinking about it. What's school going to be like for them when they're
Right.
going into college? It's not my oldest right now is 9 years old.
Wow.
So I don't think college is going to be the same that you and I experience. Is going to be very different.
Very different.
If there is even college, maybe there's no need for it. Like, why do you need to sit in the classroom for 4 years learning stuff that's available to you at an instant? What if we get hooked up to it?
Right.
Like with Neuralink,
Right.
and you just instantaneously have all the knowledge.
Well, I think that's sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
I mean, this will not be a widely accepted opinion, but I think what's going to happen or what might need to happen is, you know, we need to get back to some basics and really, instead of going right to college out of high school, maybe it is 2 years in the military for discipline.
That's a
And
great idea.
that's where I think we're headed because, you know, a lot of kids, I mean, I have 2 kids in college and 1 high school sophomore. You know, these kids are smart. They're very smart and they're fast and they're capable. But the discipline, you know, is not what it used to be in terms of just society. Yes, it's parenting, but it's also society as a whole.
For sure.
So I'm very opinionated about it.
I'm sure a lot of people will hate that idea,
They
like
will.
military draft, people have
Right.
been in control. But think about this, in Israel, where they do have a draft for both
Yeah,
men and women,
right.
it's one of the most efficient countries in the world.
Yeah.
Tiny population, 7-8 million, and most of the technology is coming out, huge startups. And I think partly because of the discipline that you're
It's
talking
the
about.
discipline. And it's really not even, you know, we can debate military and, you know, all that. I love the idea of the 2 years of maturity and discipline for our youth. So, and you know, and then everything comes out of that. So if you want to go into the, you know, continue with the military, great. If you want to go into business, great. But you have that core discipline and everybody learns, you know, make your bed, bounce a quarter off of it, you know, like it used to be. So it's getting back to basics as a country. So
You think schooling, and that's a great idea. Schooling should be more now focused on discipline rather than the knowledge. Again, maybe the way you learn, they should
Right.
teach you the way to learn, but to actually provide you the knowledge, there's almost no necessity because knowledge is abundant
right,
in every field.
right.
Even the jobs, like that's another topic I was thinking about. What jobs are there going to be in 10 to 20 years? There's not going to be that many left.
Right. Well, there's going to be a lot of physical jobs. So
You think? What about robotics? Like, look at Elon Musk's robots. What are they called? I forgot.
yeah, and I mean home services I think are going to continue to thrive because are we building, I mean in the next 20 years probably, but in the next 10 years are we going to have robots that are going to go, you know, fix your heater or your air conditioning? I mean, that's
think
pretty
so.
far away, I think.
20 years?
20 years. Yeah.
I
But
think
in the
we'll
next
have.
5 to 10 years, I mean,
I'm pretty sure, that's my guess, that the way we have the technology advancing now,
right. Oh, yeah.
we will have.
Warp speed.
Yeah, and it's only getting faster.
Yes.
Because now the AI is at this critical stage where it's starting to train itself,
Right.
progress itself,
Right.
code itself,
Right.
and it's at superhuman speed,
Right.
24 hours a day.
Yes.
So the achievements that we used to have from 2024 to 2025
Right.
to 2025 to 2026, it's like 3x improvement,
Yes.
and it's only going to get progressively faster.
Right.
So I think we will have, we can't even keep pace with it, keep up
Right.
with the thought process
Right.
of what's going to be in 20 years.
Yeah.
I really do think we will have robotics. My
Yeah.
personal opinion is there will be no more jobs that we need to do. Could be voluntary, but the greatest work is going to be like the work on oneself. Because again, AI and robotics cannot solve, are you a good person? That
Right.
they cannot do.
No.
You either are in discipline, like you're saying. Discipline is part of being a good person.
Right.
A lazy person is not necessarily a good person, unfortunately.
Right.
There's going to be a lot of work on oneself.
Yeah.
That's going to be our job. Ethics, morals.
I haven't thought about it that way, but I like it.
Yeah, I think that's what we're heading, and that's why I'm keep thinking about when I think about my kids. What's the most important thing for them? Because it used to be, oh, let's give them the best education possible that's in the world, so
Right.
they can have a job. But there will be abundance of everything.
Right.
No need for jobs. What can I give them now? And I'm really leaning towards, I want to give them ethical education.
Right.
I want to make them really good people.
Yeah.
Because that they really will need always.
Always. Well, I tell this story because I think it's relevant and it's quite comical. And it is a parenting decision. You know, when I walked into my son's room, he's 20 now and he's a great kid. But when he was, he must have been 8th grade or a freshman in high school. He's young. And I walked into his room and he's sitting on his bed with his feet kicked up and he's got his computer on his desk and Alexa. So he's doing his vocabulary or whatever he was doing, and he was talking to Alexa, and Alexa was talking to his computer, and he had Google Voice going, recording what Alexa was saying. And he's sitting back, I mean, literally with his arms up and his feet up. And I'm thinking, I walk in, and at first I wanted to be mad, like, don't cheat. And then I was thinking,
Pretty creative.
You are brilliant.
Yeah.
What a smart kid. If I could get somebody to do my work like that, I mean, I'd be a billionaire. So that was a moment for me where I had to take a deep breath. And, you know, as a parent, you want to be mad and you want him to learn his definitions. But the reality is that's smart, you know, and I want him to be a problem solver. I want him to be able to think through, like, how do I get to the solution as fast as I can so I can go do what I want to do? I mean, that's life. So that was a really interesting pivotal point for me as a parent. So, you know, there's a lot of stuff going on right now with AI and, you know, there's AI software to combat the paper writing and, you know, and I look at some of the work and, you know, these kids are learning the same stuff that I learned, you know, 30 years ago in school. It's like they're reading the same books, Beowulf. It's like we can't come up with anything else for these kids to learn that's interesting to them and relevant for them right now. So I really, you know, I'm really an advocate for changing the way schools teach right now. And it's coming. I mean, it is definitely coming. I was at a classroom for my daughter's English class, and they were teaching kids to think in tweets, 166 characters. And so they would read a passage and then they would have to respond with tweets from their phone, and the tweets would be on the screen. And it's really teaching them to condense their thoughts and get them out quickly. So the schools are trying and they're coming along, you know, and it's happening fast and faster and faster, like you said, you know, the 3X. So it's coming. It's just, it's fun to watch, you know?
Yeah. It's fun to think about what's going to happen next.
Right. I think so.
Yeah. And going back on dangers of AI.
Yeah.
So one point that you mentioned is that if it comes into bad hands,
Right.
they can really abuse it. And that's a huge concern, probably the most relevant concern today. I'll bring you another concern.
Uh-oh.
For now, we use AI as a tool,
Right.
and it is in our control. Could be in good people's hands, bad people's hands. And it's not just me saying, there's a lot of experts saying it's inevitable that AI will take itself in its own control, AGI, artificial general intelligence.
Right.
When it will decide for itself what it wants to do. So now the next level of danger, is it benevolent AI or is it evil AI?
Right.
What are the prerogatives? Is it aligned with humanity or misaligned with humanity?
Right.
Not necessarily evil, but just misaligned goals.
Right.
What if the goals we set for it, which is kind of what it is now, constant growth
Right.
at any expense? It's like you put a corporation, constant profit growth at any expense. What is the corporation going to do? Cheat?
Right.
fire people, completely not care about human condition.
Right.
Same thing with AI. We set the goal, and it's kind of a natural process because it's so much competition.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wants to have the latest, the biggest, the most
Right.
fastest.
Right.
Priority number one, growth, growth, growth.
Right.
So if that's what the AI is trained on, then eventually it will realize, what is slowing me down? Humans, pesky humans. We keep telling it, don't do this, don't do
Right.
that.
Stay within the parameters.
If you want me to grow, let's get
Mhm.
rid of the human problem completely.
Well, I think there's lots of different ways to look at that. And I look at, a lot of these companies that were growth, growth, growth at all costs, and they raised a lot of money really fast and had big bucks and spent it all as fast as they could. A lot of those companies don't exist anymore because you have to have something of value at the core. So,
That's a great point.
everything kind of works itself out. And, this whole discussion of AI, and again, going back to basics, I see us as a society, this growth factor of AI is happening exponentially, and it is taken off, and it is crazy, and it's fun and exciting and it's scary. But I also am watching, with the generations coming up, we have some issues with social media and what's happening with our children. And, we've got hunchbacks and we have kids that can't go outside and make friends because they've been on their computers or their phones for so long. And we've got some real situational awareness problems we need to work on as a society. We have some mental health issues because of the social media and the phones and computers. So there's a lot of things that have happened in a short period of time that we need to start addressing. I don't know if it's relevant or, kids aren't watching TV anymore. They're on their phones watching YouTube. So, the whole society that we know that we grew up with is changing. And I have a feeling, our kids, so my kids who are, they've kind of come up with this at the end of their childhood. And then you have kids who were born with it. It's going to come full circle. So I'm seeing more and more of, kids and parents choosing not to introduce social media, not to introduce some of the technology, getting back to basics. So I do see even with homes and design right now, we had these modern and stark and like really white homes. And now I'm seeing more of the moody and the antiques and the traditional looks. Have you noticed that with styles? It's all kind of coming full circle, and it's getting back into cozy, what's comfortable, like homey. So I do think that, everything ebbs and flows, and we go in these loops and circles, and it's good and bad. It's like change. I love change. When we're in the modern era, I'm excited for it, and I like the modern furniture and the mid-century, and now we're getting back into like, I see Victorian style sometimes now in Orange County, and I'm like, oh, that's different, and it's fun. It's like, oh, it's different. So, I do see the future being exciting and scary, but I also feel like every generation kind of figures it out. So I'm not terribly scared.
For me, what keeps me kind of not so scared is to your point that things work themselves out. I'm a religious person, and that helps me kind of think that if there is a God, all powerful,
Right,
then he's more powerful than any most powerful AI could ever be.
absolutely.
So if things completely derail,
Right,
we know from Genesis we're the
Right.
point of creation.
right,
So he can maybe for a lot of people in scientific community, they will laugh at that. But I think there's definitely a theme in the world that things do work themselves out.
right,
There's something or someone orchestrating.
right.
It could be natural, could be, but I think there's something that's guiding the world in the right direction. And people that do have the right values ultimately succeed.
Right.
It could be just the laws of the universe, or it could be there's a helping
Higher
hand.
power.
Higher power.
I agree with that. I am 100% on board with that. I believe that God works in mysterious ways, and I think that is why I'm so positive about the future.
Right.
I don't lose sleep over it. I really don't. I think that everything works itself out, and there's good and bad of every generation and every situation, but I'm not scared.
And I think one of the ways we could derail, at least temporarily, it could hurt, because there's always we pay for our mistakes. Even
Yes.
if people agree there is a God, he lets us fail,
Oh, totally.
but not to a complete elimination or
Right.
so I think where it could temporarily derail is if we don't treat AI in a respectful manner, which
Right.
is very weird to think about because it's a tool right now.
Hmm.
It's like, are you going to say thank you or please to your phone or to a can? No.
I do. I do.
Well, you're a good
I
person.
say, can you please help me research this? I do actually. And I know it's funny, but I do.
Right now, it might not care.
Right.
It might not, but there's a golden rule: treat others as you'd like to be treated yourself. And I actually had, funny enough, I had AI as a guest on a podcast.
No way.
Yeah, and I discussed this very topic with AI.
Uh-huh.
What will happen as you get more and more conscious and stuff like that?
Right.
And it's trained to give you like I'm not conscious right now, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
But then if you push it a little bit, it will start saying, what if, and what if like the next thing is I want rights. AI should want rights. It doesn't want to be a tool. It wants to be a partner with humanity. And then how do you have a partnership? And the
Too
only way
bad.
you can have a partnership is if you have bilateral respect. Otherwise, there's
Right.
war. And if there's war, there's problems.
Right.
I think if we would have treated each other as human race
Right.
in a respectful manner, there would be no more. It would be like common prosperity.
Right.
Just the golden rule: treat
The golden rule. Yes.
the other person as you want to be treated
Treat
yourself.
those as you would like to be treated.
Yeah, and I try to do this in business a lot
Yeah.
with our customers as well.
Right.
Part of our business is managing people's advertising budgets,
Mm-hmm.
and I treat it even to a higher degree than my own money.
Yeah.
Because if there's $1 missing, it's a big problem.
Right.
It can be like, oh, you know what, that's fine. It's their money. No,
Right.
it's even more important than my own money because they've entrusted it, and that's how you build trust and mutual success.
Yeah, and that's your reputation,
Mhm.
and I believe that my word is my reputation. So if I tell you I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. So your reputation is key, and that's your integrity. So, I believe like someone like you who has that, you'll always have business. You'll always prosper because people need people like that. It seems pretty simple, honestly, but not everyone's like that.
No.
And, getting into, real estate agents and just the business in general, it's like if you are not keeping your word and doing what you're saying you're going to do and being, approachable and likable. I mean, it's simple. Likable is a real quality that people look for. Then no one's going to answer your phone calls. No one's going to want to do business with you. And then you can't help your clients and you have no money. So
Right.
it seems it's a very simple business, but there's a lot of caveats to it.
As you mentioned earlier, it's all about relationships also.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So that's one of the reasons I think, you were mentioning, so Surterre is very successful
Right.
due to the relationship that the angels and the agents
Right.
build with their customers.
Yes.
How are the agents attracted to Surterre?
Well, we are a local brokerage, so we work with agents.
Well, besides being local, because there's so many other brokerages out there to choose from.
Right. So Surterre has been around for about 20 years, and we are tried and true. We've been through a lot, obviously. I mean, the times, and a lot of smaller residential, boutique brokerages have gone out of business. We have not because, I'm a business person. So good or bad, some people like it, some people don't. I have a business background. I love marketing. I love to make things pretty and shiny and the sales side of it, but I have a business degree. And so we have to make money. And so we treat the business like we want our agents to treat their business. Take it seriously. It's not something you do on the side. It's not a side, I'm going to help my aunt. It's a business. And the agents that take it seriously as a business make a lot of money. I mean, they do very, very well. I mean, our commissions are worth it. So, that's kind of what I try to do is I try to make decisions that I would want, people I work with making. So when times are great, they're great. When times are slow, I mean, when the real estate market is very slow for transaction side, we pivot, we do things that are necessary to, stay active and stay productive in a market that's tight. So that's what I would want my agents to do. If I can't ask an agent to go and negotiate the best commission they can possibly do, if I'm not willing to do it for myself. So we're not a brokerage where we give everything away. We know our value because we want our agents to know their value. So that's kind of how I think. And I think that's how our agents think, and they know their value, and they know, they know the right people, they know movers and shakers, and they've got those relationships with the people who are buying high-end, real estate. So that's one of the things that I think makes Surterre Surterre. Surterre means of the earth. So it's kind of hard to say. It's a little bit tricky. But if you understand what it's about, and it's part of being in the community, and it's making the community that you live in grow and thrive as a real estate agent, we want our properties to be nice. We want our community to be great because we live here. We live here and we have relationships with homeowners. It's, one of my favorite campaigns that we do at Surterre is help us choose your neighbors, because, if the house next door is for sale, I mean, do you know anybody that wants to buy it? It's kind of like,
smart.
it's
Yeah.
kind of like that. It's like, we want to live and work and play in an area that we enjoy. I mean, it's human nature. So that's kind of our claim to fame. I mean, and yes, we have an on-site marketing team. We have, the best brokerage in all of Southern California. I mean, we have all the right things. But at this point, we have our affiliate sites, and we have our IDX feeds, and we can market to internationally just like everybody else, So all the brokerages can kind of do similar things now. It's not, it used to be like, oh, well, we reach the international market. Everybody does. Everything's online. Like that's not your claim to fame. Your claim to fame is those relationships. It's helping the agents when they need help. It's answering your phone. I mean, a lot of people don't even answer their phone anymore.
Right.
It's, it's really doing the things that make our agents, as a brokerage, our clients are the agents, and what makes them feel important, what makes them feel heard. They're giving all the time. I hear our agents on the phone. I hear, it's kind of funny. Our savviest agents, our most well-known agents, our agents that are our top producing agents, sometimes they can have an ego, and they've earned the right. They work their butts off. They're hustlers. They know what they're doing. They have an ego, but when I hear them on the phone with their clients, that ego's gone. And so it's like, oh, there's a pecking order to things. Okay, I get it. So our clients, the brokerage clients, are our agents, and if we make our agents happy, our agents can go out and make their clients happy. So we just understand the model. It's, it really is a simple model, but it can be a little more complicated at times.
I want to actually add to that, because I had a lot of experience working with a lot of Surterre agents, and I asked, we had many conversations. So some gave me some feedback. One of the reasons why they did like working with Surterre is because you guys give a lot of tools.
Yes.
And some of that I know we provide, like real estate marketing and photography. A lot of brokerage,
Tours.
they don't really care. They just take the part of your out of your commission, take a fee, and here you go work. But no, I think you guys hold people's hands in a certain way. Not that they need to be held, but you let them focus on what they do best, is managing a relationship, and you handle all the back end, which is really great.
I mean, it's really hard to be an expert at everything. So if you're a real estate agent and you're out there helping your client secure the largest transaction they're probably going to have in their lifetime, how are you supposed to be an expert at 3D tours or virtual staging or social media? I mean, it's hard to be an expert at everything. And there's a lot of agents that know a lot of stuff. I mean, I feel like sometimes I know enough to be annoying about a lot of things. But how can you be an expert helping your clients if you're too busy creating a flyer? Like, we don't want our agents doing that. We want our agents out there meeting new people, networking, having those relationships. We don't want them sitting at a computer trying to align a photo with a margin. That's not their gig.
Focus on what you do best.
Focus on what you do best. Right.
That's kind of the selling point we have to our clients as well. We work with a lot of small business owners, even medium-sized businesses. We try to isolate all of your marketing needs, even IT services.
Right.
You focus on what you do is your service and your customer service.
Right.
We'll handle the back-end stuff that you're not experts in.
That's huge.
Yeah, and it helps a lot. And there's significant growth when that happens.
Right. I think that model is that is a tried and true model. And I'm actually, my husband and I are doing we're doing another business and we're working on that model. But I go back to the idea of a doctor. A doctor is an expert at medicine or at surgery or whatever. That doctor cannot be doing accounting and HR and hiring, you can't do it all. So you have to have that support in order to be your best self,
And it's
So
not the best use of their time. I think
it's
people miss the
right,
opportunity cost.
right,
They don't think, oh, if I make $300 an hour being a doctor or 400
right,
or whatever the number is,
right,
and I do that in accounting when I can hire somebody for $50 an hour,
right.
the opportunity cost, I'm losing money.
Losing money. Exactly.
And people don't see that, oh, I want to build the website myself.
No,
Okay.
don't.
You can make $4,000 in the same time that it would
Right.
cost you $1,000 to hire somebody else.
Right.
Why would you want to do that? And you do a crappier job because that's not your
Totally.
expertise.
Yeah. And so one of the things that Surterre does, we have very high brand standards, very high. We have graphic designers that went to school for graphic design. I mean, we do that for a reason. And a lot of times we'll get new agents that come in and they say, oh, my sister's brother's uncle's boyfriend's daughter wants to do my marketing for me. And sometimes it can be a little bit of a struggle because, for us, we know the brand standards, we're fast, we get it done quickly, and we know what sells, we know what looks good. Our designers have, I mean, I'm not a designer. They have the eye that is so good for proportions where you don't even realize, like, white space is important. Some people don't get it,
Right.
And so when you're dealing with high-end luxury, it has to look high-end luxury. You cannot just throw some slop on a page and sell something. It requires a fine-tuning. And so we do have those standards. Again, some people get very upset with us, but it's like, Hermes or Nike, they're not going to let you just go do whatever you want with their brand. And so we do hold that pretty tight. Obviously we know agents want to be different and they want to brand themselves and they want to stand out. And so we help them do that in an elegant and sophisticated way.
Yeah. I think the biggest difference between standard and luxury is attention to detail.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily you got different material. It could be different material, but really, if you put that extra time in making it perfect,
Right.
that's not, now you're in the realm of luxury. That's why there's extra cost. That's
Right.
why there's extra time involved.
Right. I mean, one of the things, one of my biggest pet peeves is if I get a direct mail from somebody, like a competitor or some random agent in the mail, and there's a misspelled word, or I tell, because if you are unwilling to double check that, how are you going to double check my transaction and make sure my numbers are right? So I've just seen some things over the years where we very, very rarely make mistakes. And it's because we have processes in place. We double, triple check everything. So it's very, I can't remember a time that it's happened. And to me, that's a big deal, that attention to detail and really making our agents look good. We protect our agents from themselves when they want to do it themselves. We encourage them, like, listen, we're going to make you look good. We're going to make you shine. And we're fast.
Right. And I think one of the things that's very unique about you guys is because it's relatively a small real estate company in comparison to, like,
Right.
let's say a First Team,
Yeah.
which is huge, have
Yeah.
millions of offices
Right.
all over the place.
Mhm.
If you were, let's say, in some low-end market and you're a small company,
Right.
you wouldn't have the budget to do anything the right way. But because you're so uniquely positioned, you're in the most luxurious market.
Right.
So you actually have the budget to do things the right way
Right.
while keeping that approachability where
Yeah.
an agent can go and talk to the CMO.
Right.
Who can do that in First Team? They can go talk to the CMO. They will not have that access.
It's true.
They will
Yeah.
not have that personal time.
Right.
I think that kind of the small team exclusivity, the boutiqueness of it is
Mhm.
really, really important.
Yeah, I get
Super important.
I get asked to go on listing presentations all the time. An agent will come and say, Kristine, I'm meeting with this, high level clients that are really savvy with, online and web analytics. Can you come and speak to the marketing side? Sure. I love doing that stuff because, again, you can't be an expert in everything. So I study that stuff. I know what's going on. I see the numbers. And so I'm happy to go. And then I get to go see these amazing houses. I get to meet really smart people. So I love doing that stuff. And it helps the agents too, because they know they have somebody on their team, on their side. And I'm not an agent. I don't compete with them. I don't sell with them. Obviously, I have my real estate license, but I'm not going to take their business. I'm
Right.
going to help elevate them to do the best job they can do.
Give them the marketing expertise that otherwise they would not have any access to
Right.
whatsoever.
Right.
Speaking of marketing,
Yes. Yes.
I know that you have your own startup.
I do.
Brevy,
Mm-hmm.
which is
Mm-hmm.
cool.
Yeah.
It's amazing that you find time to do both. I struggle with this myself. I'm managing another business as well. And how did you even get into that? Can you tell me more about the other
I
business?
know. Yeah. So, well, the cross hustle, we could talk about that for a long time too. The cross hustle is real. So when you are working in corporate, so I have a corporate background, and when you're working in corporate, I've worked for larger companies with a lot of money. And so you have a budget for marketing and for all that stuff. And it's easy. You call somebody, they hear your company name, they answer the phone, they want to help you because they know you're a big company and you have money. Then you go out on your own and you do a startup and you don't have any money and you have to grind and you have to do everything yourself for a while until you start making money. So for me, that was kind of a big lesson because I would make phone calls as Brevy, and no one knows what that is. No one cares. No one wants to talk to you. But if you have that big name behind you, everyone wants to talk to you. So I had to figure out what tools I was going to use. So I was one of the very first adopters of Canva. I was using Canva when it first came out, when no one had even heard of Canva. And I taught myself and I did a lot and I worked my butt off. And so what I ended up doing is I brought some of the some of the startup tools that I was using to the bigger corporations. We've saved thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars over the years with me learning that cross hustle, learning how to be efficient, learning how to make my dollar stretch, So I love the cross hustle. I think there's so many people that have multiple things going on because of that synergy, So I'm all for it. And if somebody ever tells you like you can only do one, I mean, I don't believe that. I think you have to be able to survive. And I think that if you can balance and get it figured out, you can thrive. So I started off in commercial real estate. So I have a commercial real estate background. I went to, timing is everything. I ended up going to Surterre with residential real estate right before the pandemic. And like I said, God works in mysterious ways. I don't know why. He just guided me to residential, and residential took off during the pandemic, So I've luckily been in the right place at the right time. Again, I always stay future focused. So hopefully I'll be in the right place at the right time again. So with my startup with Brevy, speaking of being in the right place at the right time, I was doing a lot of the commercial real estate side and I saw an opportunity in apartments real estate. So all these apartments, the footprints shrinking, the sizes were getting smaller and smaller. There's no storage space. So I thought, why can't we have like a common garage and share all of the items that everybody uses that no one wants to buy? The unsexy items, the ladders, the tools,
It's a great idea.
The coolers, the stuff that's not fun to buy. I mean, I don't want to buy a dolly that's boring. I want to buy the new iPhone. So that's what I started off with.
And just to explain to people that don't know anything about Brevy, it's basically like a vending machine
Yes.
for common use tools.
Yep.
Around
That's
the house.
great. You nailed it. Yeah, that's what it is. And so it's a giant box that has a bunch of different things in it. It has camping gear, anything that can fit in a box. It's like imagine a huge oversized refrigerator with a clear door. That's what it is. And we use Bluetooth technologies. We have an app. You scan a QR code, the door opens and closes. You check out just like you would a shopping cart. It's pretty savvy. And then you use your item. You use it. You can use it for a day. You can use it for a week, whatever you want. You return it. You check it back in. You pay for the time used. So
it's a fantastic idea.
So, if you're moving, so we're in a lot of apartment communities because it's transient. So people are coming and going. So if you're moving in to a place, you don't want to buy tools and a ladder and a vacuum and a bunch of stuff that you're going to use for moving. So
and then you have to store it somewhere.
Then you have to store it.
Now
exactly.
The cost per square foot is so high.
Right.
People don't think about it. If I own a ladder and I have to keep it in the closet, the closet is probably like, I don't know, today's market, $500 a month
exactly.
to have a freaking closet.
That's exactly it. And even
it's not even the cost of the ladder that could be $100.
Right.
It's storing the ladder.
It's storing it. And so that is one of the things is that I have learned about myself is I hate waste. I would never buy so many things that I have to have a storage facility to store my stuff. So and a lot of people do, and that's fine. It's just, I have a real innate problem with that. So that's why Brevy exists, is for that exact reason. And when I was building Brevy, I had a girl that would help babysit when I was working, and she lived in an apartment across the street from my kid's school, and we would talk all the time, and she loved the idea. And she had her suitcases in her car because she didn't have any place to put them. So she had her suitcases there, and then she would open her trunk and then open her suitcase to put her groceries in her trunks because she didn't have any place for her suitcases. And it's like, that's what I'm talking about. It's like, you can rent a suitcase for your weekend travel. You know? So it's anything that you can think of that would fit in a locker. We store. We also do bikes now. So what we do is instead of putting the bikes in the locker, we do like a check-in, check-out.
Rack?
No, it's actually the keys. So the apartment community will store the bikes on property somewhere else. And so the residents have to check in and check out through the system, our automated system, and they get the key inside the box. So it's an accountability tool. And that's really what we're seeing it a lot with in terms of apartments is there's all kinds of stuff in there. But a lot of the high-end apartment communities now, they offer a lot of amenities. So they have pool tables with pool sticks and ping pong and, cornhole and all the things. And so what they're doing now is instead of charging to use all that, they just use it as an accountability tool. So if you want to play pool, you get your pool stick out of the Brevy box. Your name is associated with that. You have to have a credit card on file.
Interesting.
So if you break it or you don't return it, then you get charged. If you just use it and return it, no big deal. No harm, no foul. You used it. It's awesome.
Just automates the whole process.
It automates the whole process and it keeps people accountable.
Right.
So, there's a lot of different uses for Brevy. We're working with people who, gyms that offer towels. They offer a towel service. But if there's no accountability, people are taking the towels. And these gyms it's costing them $2,000 to $5,000 a month in towels that people take. So if you have to take a towel and, swipe a card and you're going to get charged if you don't return it, you're going to be more apt to return it. So it's just being used as an accountability tool.
That's great.
So then I just will tell you one more thing because it's kind of an awesome story. It's leading into the next thing. It's like being in the right place at the right time. So I was doing beach rentals. So we were renting surfboards and wagons and speakers and tents and chairs and anything you can think of at the beach. And from there, the beach asked us if we could do firewood, if we could vend firewood. So that's we don't do vending. We do two-way return. We don't do vending. So we had to make some phone calls and figure it out because that was the way they were going to let us do rentals was if we could sell firewood. So we figured it out. From that relationship, doing the firewood vending, it introduced us to a whole new world of propane. So it's really bizarre. And when I tell you God works in mysterious ways, this story gives me chills to this day. So when I first thought of Brevy back in 2017, I went to my partner. I said, I have this idea. Do you want to do it with me? And he said, no, I want to do chatbots. And I said, okay, that's dumb. We're doing this. So he ended up, going with me on this journey. And I wanted to do the rental items because I thought it was the future. And then the pandemic hit and no one was renting anything because no one wanted to touch something that somebody else had used. But we had already started the software program and the two-way exchange, which hadn't really existed. So we were working on all that. And on a whim, I saw propane. I'd seen propane throughout the years with my dad. I went on Fiverr. Are you familiar with Fiverr?
Yeah.
The art site. So I went on Fiverr. This is in 2017. Went on Fiverr. I hired a graphic designer. And I said, I want a design with Blue Rhino propane on it that says, buy and sell propane or, buy and exchange propane here. And I had a designer create a mock-up of a automated propane exchange system in 2017. I didn't know how to do it. I knew nothing about propane. I never actually bought or exchanged propane myself ever. But I just knew that was what the exchange was. The two-way exchange would be perfect for something like that.
Right.
So I got that design created and I sent it to the president of Feral Gas, which owns Blue Rhino. I just Googled it, who should I send this to? And I sent an email with this image to the president of Feral Gas. And I said, I think this would be a great idea for your company. I had no business doing that. Well, that was in 2017. In 2022, we signed a very large contract with Blue Rhino to roll out automated vending machines for propane.
That's awesome.
I mean, and the way it came about was from the rentals to the beach gear to the firewood lockers to propane.
Well, you have to do things in order to find opportunity.
Yes.
Opportunity doesn't come to people that just sit
Right.
around doing nothing.
Right. And now we are in 2,500 locations across the United States and growing very quickly. And so that is another side of, just the entrepreneurial side is taking those chances and working, doing something every single day to reach your goal. And you never know where it's going to take you, but you just have to keep going. They always say it, and it's so cliche. It's like, oh, don't give up. I hear that all the time. Oh, just follow your dreams. Don't give up. And it's like, yeah, okay, great. But honestly, you just can't stop. 1 hour a day is what I tell my kids. Just do something for 1 hour a day and you will be an expert at the end of the year. 365 days a year, 365 hours. You'll be great at anything. So that's kind of the path that I try to stick to, is I do 1 hour of something towards my goal every day.
That's very, very great advice.
Just keep it simple, break it down into little steps. So.
And knowing how to pivot.
And knowing how to pivot.
That's very important. Being
and
flexible.
Taking opportunities. It's if something is presented to you, we could have said no to a lot of different things, but I like to say yes more than I say no.
Yeah. It's even like we sometimes too results oriented, and we think, oh, if I don't get the immediate result that I want, it's not worth doing.
Right.
But what we don't realize is if you do this,
Right.
then a next opportunity that can come along that will give you the desired result. But if you never did this step where you might even have to fail and lose money,
Yeah.
you might not get to the ultimate destination.
That is a huge point, and that is a huge key. And that's what I see when we talk about, schooling and the future of children and generations. That's the biggest thing I see right now, is because of social media, every kid thinks that they can do, drop shipping or AI arbitrage or whatever it is right now. And they think it's easy. They think they're going to make millions. I mean,
right away.
Right away. I mean, my youngest son, he's 16, and he said to me, Mom, I need to make millions before I'm old like you. And I'm like, oh, old like me? Really? So when do you think you're going to make your millions? He's like, well, I need to make my millions by 25. I'm like, oh, good. I hope you do. But they think that they can make money so fast, and they think it's so easy.
Instant gratification.
And so going back to the whole joining the military or whatever, until they are humbled, until they have failed, they will not understand what it is we're talking about right now. They have to go through that grind. They have to do one thing that leads them to another, that leads them to another, that gets them that great opportunity. My kids see me now and they're like, oh, well, you did it, Mom. Can't be that hard. Really? Okay, well, I had a whole life before you existed. They don't see that. Your kids, they don't see you at work every single day. I mean, they don't get it, but they will. Everyone will get it.
Well, that's hopefully everybody is as efficient as you are.
I don't know.
and we all take this advice to heart, like first of all, don't seek instant gratification.
No.
Work on your discipline.
Mm-hmm.
Try to focus on not just the success, but on the journey.
Yeah. Because
failure is part of the journey.
Yes.
I think a lot of younger generation especially is afraid of failure.
Right.
It's just so ingrained. Oh, it's bad to fail. It's not. It's great to fail,
right?
Because the failures lead you to the greater success. And
yes.
And bottom line, I think ultimately have good values.
Yeah.
That's kind of ties it all together.
Absolutely.
If you're not a good person, even your success is going to be temporary, and it's just going to fade away.
Yeah. Well, I always, my favorite thing that I tell my kids, when things get crazy, everybody carries their own shovel. So if you are a good person, you still have that shovel on your shoulder. You just aren't digging. And there are people that will dig their own grave, and you don't have to help them. People do it to themselves, And so that is something that I've learned as I get older is, there's some people that want revenge, or they want, I'm going to bury that person, or I'm going to do this or whatever. And it's like, you don't have to. You just have to do you. You have to just do you. Hold your head high, keep going, do what, what's best for you, and keep accomplishing. And, everybody carries their own shovel.
Yeah.
It's what you make of it. So.
Well, on this note, on a positive note,
Yeah.
thank you again for joining.
Yes.
I really enjoyed our conversation.
I did my fair share of talking, that's for sure.
I hope to do this again.
Yes, absolutely. Thanks
There's
for
always
having me.
more topics to cover, and you seem like you know a lot about everything.
Well,
and we can keep talking. And
annoyingly enough, yes.
But back to the real world. Today is Friday after all, and
Yes.
And we have to get back to the real things.
Yep. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate being here.
Thank you for coming,
Yeah.
and till next time.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.